I think nothing is sexier than a man listening to country music while he takes a shit.
Hey, she was a hooah.
The Morning Stream. Maybe I can help you. I am Boba Fett. Hello, everyone, and welcome to TMS. It's the Morning Stream for Thursday, July 3rd, 2025. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Nibbett. Hi, Brian.
Hello. We are inching our way ever further into July, right before the big 4th of July holiday here in the U.S.
Yeah, not a lot to celebrate this year, but, you know. Although my neighbors sure think there is, because last night at like 2 o'clock in the morning, fireworks.
Seriously?
On the
2 a.m.?
3rd. The 3rd, Brian. Save them for the 4th, you dipshit. And it wasn't even the 3rd. It was the 2nd. Well, I guess the 3rd.
It would technically be the 3rd, but still irritating.
I was
irritating
so annoyed. So annoyed. I just laying there going, all right, first of all, we got some wind and a little bit of rain, which meant we could turn off the AC and open windows. Love doing that.
Nice.
Save a little money, save a little energy, and keep our air conditioner from, constantly humming. So we got some nice airflow going. But when you do that, you obviously increase your sound access because of that. And I didn't even think about it, that there would be a bunch of fireworks on the freaking 2nd and 3rd. Sure enough, pip, pop, boom, ba, 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 ba. It's like, come on, man.
Shouldn't even be, it's not legal where you're at, right? Like ground fireworks are okay, but and noisemakers, but the stuff that goes up in the air, because we live in a dry part of the country.
Yeah. And in fact, in our HOA, technically, although people break the rule all the time, technically it's not allowed to do any kind. According to the HOA rules, but in surrounding, suburbs, they can do it.
Sure,
sound makers, but these people were firing off full on like boom, bam, boom, like this,
like the mortars. Jeez,
just scoffing in the face of rules and scofflaws, what they call those guys.
Scofflaws, yes,
I hate
because they scoff at laws.
It's the most like old ass term, isn't it?
It really is.
Oh, it's such a
rabble rousers.
Yeah. Right. They're all cut from the same wood,
Yes.
But anyway, F those guys. I was pissed. I was irritated, but I did eventually sleep. And I don't know. Maybe I'm awake now. Maybe I'm tired. I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? You all right at the end of the week?
I'm all right. Slept until 4:30, which for me is good. It's sad to say, right? Like, boy, as a kid, try and get me out of bed before 9 in the summertime. 10, good luck.
Yeah.
But nope, it's like, all right, I'm awake, 4:30, pee, get back to bed, try and sleep. Nope, all right, let's watch some Simpsons.
That's a good job. You know what? I don't hate this at all. I think this is great.
No.
Speaking of reading, I didn't say anything about reading, but I'll say
I could have read. I actually could have read something. Why didn't I read something?
Sure. I'll say, speaking of things you can do when you're not sleeping, one of them is reading, and I'm currently reading a book that I keep bringing up on the show, but forgetting to say the title of. Apparently, I thought I had been saying the title, but Jens wrote in and said I have not. So here's what Jens says. Hey, Scott and Brian, I'm listening to episode 2843. Scott mentioned a book he was reading about a Norwegian werewolf, but didn't mention the name. It sounded like a good book, and I'd like to read it. What's the title, please? Thanks, the Jens, or Jens. I guess there's no the Jens.
Yeah, this isn't the Jen. It's a different Jens.
Did we see the Jen in Vegas? Did we see her?
I saw her. Was it at we did. She was there. Did we see her at karaoke or?
I can't remember. It just suddenly hit me that I don't think I got much time with her.
No, I didn't get any time with her at all. It was really just like seeing her across the room kind of thing.
That sucks.
Didn't get any time to hang out with her.
That sucks. I like her.
Yeah.
I like seeing her. I like caring about her teaching, her high school job that she's got.
Yeah.
The kids are going to be okay because of the Jen.
The kids are all right because of the Jen.
Mrs. the Jen, can I go to the bathroom, they'll say in the class? And she'll say, take the hall pass, buddy. I don't know how it works in there. I don't know what they do.
I don't know either. Yeah, don't even know if they allow it anymore.
I think I just realized why I never say the title. I always get sidetracked.
Yeah, because you get distracted and you veer away from
I think you're right. I think I've actually done that multiple times now.
First rule of Norwegian werewolf book: never say the title of the Norwegian werewolf book.
And I should say, even though, so this character who is the Norwegian werewolf, she's not the main character. She's just one of them. They're kind of a ragtag D&D group in a weird way. These characters, they all kind of have equal billing, but she's pretty prominent because she's Norwegian werewolves in the lore they're telling in this book are massive and horrible, and everybody's going to die. If you do any, like they mentioned German werewolves, no big deal. They don't hurt you.
Yeah.
They're just like lame, smelly, whatever. No offense to Germans, but it's a werewolf thing. But the Norwegian ones are big and terrible. Just a terrible, terrible, terrifying thing. Anyway, that book is called The Devils.
There it is.
The Devils. It's the name basically of the group that is this ragtag of, there's a werewolf, there's a vampire, a very ancient one. There is a necromancer, a thief, an elf, and a priest.
And a bard.
I mean, it really is. It does feel like a D&D group. They all have kind of their own things. There's basically a tanky, warrior type who can't die. That's his power or his ability or his curse. He hates it. He'd like to die. He just can't die.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's really good. The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. If you've not heard of him before, he did the first Law series, which was one of my favorite series of all time, still is. That one starts with the blade itself. If you ever get around to that, I would highly recommend that as well. But this is his new series he's starting. It's the first book. It just came out, and it is freaking fantastic so far. I'm probably a third left or so. It's a pretty big book.
Okay.
And I'm just reading it every night when I get a chance and loving every freaking second of it. I just love his writing. And it's out. I don't know how he does this. I think I mentioned this before. The writing's super grimdark, like grimdark fantasy. Mm-hmm. But he injects humor in the most appropriate ways. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like some of it's laugh out loud funny. And in a different author's hands, I don't think it would be as successful. He's just got a way. He's British, which helps probably. A lot of dry humor in him.
Yeah.
But he just makes this grimdark fantasy tale so much more fun because, it's actually funny. The interaction between these characters is great. It's really, really good. So The Devils, available now on your book platform of choice, including audiobook. I don't know who reads it. I'm not doing that. I'm doing the reading. But
you're doing the reedy version?
Yeah. Did I tell you I swapped I sold my Kindle for a Kobo.
Yeah, you get the little Kobo, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's roughly the same size, a little thinner. I don't have it down here. But I like it because it's a more open platform and it doesn't have weird. Well, one of the problems I have with the Kindle is the interface is just kind of lousy and has been for a long time. Mm-hmm. And they're not really improving it. It's slow. Even on the newer models, just kind of performance sucks. And there is a way to take your old Mobi formatted Kindle books and convert them, which is what I did or am doing for older ones. For new stuff, though, I can use EPUB and 100 other formats. It doesn't have to be strictly whatever, the DRM stuff on Amazon is.
Right, whatever they're fixed. Yeah.
And I also like that I got the Kobo on Amazon.
Oh, that's funny.
Take that, jerks. It's good, though. Really been happy with it. And it doesn't have ads on it and all the other shit. It's just a nice upgrade. So, big recommendation there. Cool. We got a call from Friendly Fleet.
Friendly Fleet. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That's what Picard's always looking for when he's out there.
That's right.
A friendly fleet,
And no further.
No. You play dumb, Jot.
Draw the line here.
All right, here is your call. This is from him, and it is about pronouncing things. So here you go.
Good morning. This is Friendly Fleet, listening to Tuesday's episode. As someone who lives by the St. Croix River on the border of Minnesota and Wisconsin, I can definitely say it is Croix. So there you go. I'm sorry for the background noise as I'm at the airport, but of course, love the show.
So Croix, LaCroix, the drink
Croix.
We were talking about.
Well, St. Croix River, yes, but somebody jokingly, I think, was pronouncing it LaCroix at a barbecue I went to. I think that must be where it's coming from.
I think it was that day.
But I'm pretty sure it's Croix, right?
Yeah, it's got to be Croix. I'm not going to go. You know what? I could test it. I could go in the store and say, "You guys got any LaCroix?" and see what they say.
Yeah, but that won't tell you how.
Or LaCroix.
French. In French, it's Croix.
It is Croix.
It is Croix in French.
And it is
we're not French here.
No, we are definitely not that. I could never cop to that. Are you kidding me? All right, let's see. Can we find
we've got our dude. We've got our dude right here if you want him.
Oh yeah, link him.
Let me give you a link. Let me make sure this is the dude.
Today,
yep, sure is.
Today we are doing a thing. Wee wee poo poo. He might be French.
You're looking at the way to pronounce the name of this flavored seltzer drink.
All right, here we go. All right, we got a little.
We are looking at how to pronounce this word. Let's break down the pronunciation.
Okay.
So this is originally a word from French, meaning a cross, as in a Catholic cross, for example. Croix is how it's said in French. Croix. Okay,
Croix,
the X is
LaCroix.
silent, and OI makes this wa sound, a bit like WA.
Okay, but I'm gonna feel weird doing that. You know?
Yeah, I think he's starting off with the French, and he's going to get to the English.
Oh, he goes on. Does he go on?
I think so.
All right,
maybe.
let's find out. Oh, whoops, skip ahead here.
Meaning a cross.
Okay, we know that.
Croix is how it's said in French.
Yeah.
WA. So, depending on the context, you can say it as Croix, but in English, it's often pronounced as Croix, as in this famous brand of sparkling water. Croix, LaCroix is how it's said. So, yeah, there are different ways of pronouncing it.
Oh, well, he seems to believe it is okay to go either way.
There you go. Yes, if you're in France and you're asking for one of these sparkling waters, then you better say LaCroix.
Yeah, get it
But
straight.
here
Here in America,
Yeah.
where we drink more LaCroix
Let me get
than
one of them
anyone.
Croixes. You got any Croixes with the pamplemousse?
This guy, by the way, that is many thousands and thousands of views on that. He found a niche, man.
He
This guy.
really did. You know what? And I just picture him sitting in his house with a list of words.
Mm-hmm.
Today we are going to be pronouncing the word Nintendo. Nintendo.
You know he's done it.
Yeah, I'm sure he
He's
has.
got to have done it. This
Yeah.
guy's name is Julien, and this video has 25,000 views. His channel has 1.85 million subscribers.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
I know.
It's all about his delivery, though, right? That's it.
It totally is, yeah. And he's he's this, and he's booze videos, like wine and champagne videos.
Yeah, he's super into his winery. Ironically, those things, the wine stuff doesn't get near the views, like barely touches it.
I know. I'd be really curious. I'm sure there's a way to do this, but is there a way to see what his most popular pronunciation video is? Like, what is the word that people have a problem with that they end up always coming to his?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Like
Like-
what is his most popular one, maybe, or is that?
Yeah, exactly. Like gyro, the Greek food.
Yeah.
1.4 million views.
That's a lot. That's a whole lot.
Gnocchi has 1.1 million views. I mean,
Good Lord.
there's another one. Spaghetti bolognese. 219,000 views.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
dude.
I want to know if there's a way. Boy, he's got a whole section on Irish names too.
His highest. You say Gucci?
How to say Cillian Murphy.
I think Gucci is his highest, 4 million 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, but it's also got a girl overlaid on it. That may help. Like
Oh yeah,
a pretty
yeah.
girl, you know.
A pretty girl. Yeah, 4.5 or 4.4 million views 5 years ago. Popular. Oh, there you go. Yeah, popular upload. So that does. This would be
These would be the highest, I think.
the highest. Okay.
So 4 million. Next one's 2.5 for French luxury brands. It's a bunch of them. Louis Vuitton. Yeah, saw a lot of that in Vegas. Man, there's a Louis Vuitton every 4 feet in that town.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that side of the strip, right? You don't see it downtown. But on the main, the main strip, new strip, you see a lot of Louis Vuitton.
It totally is. By the way, the 5th most popular of his pronunciation videos is how to pronounce the name of Elon Musk and Grimes' baby.
Oh my gosh.
XAEA-12.
For names,
Here, we're doing that. Hold on.
we are looking at how to pronounce the name of newborn baby of Canadian singer Grimes and Tesla's CEO Elon Musk, spelled XA12. It is unclear at this point if this is the actual name of the baby and how the parents will want it to be pronounced if it turns out to be. Congrats to Grimes and Elon in
This is 5 years ago before Musk turned
Yeah, went
really
crazy.
went nuts, or
Yeah.
really showed us who he was, is what it was.
Right.
Okay, well, sometimes you struggle to find your foothold in YouTube, and someone else figures it out by accident.
Very, very well. Good on you, Julian Miguel.
Miguel, and may your wine tasting be equally cool.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Friendly Fleet. You were truly the friendliest of fleets.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Now we have Fenier. No, I'm going to get it wrong, and he'll probably pronounce it in the call. But anyway, about beef fizz, we're going to put this one to bed. So here you go.
What's up, Scoobie and Boobie? This is Fenrir, not Ben-Hur, but Fenrir from St. Paul. Speaking of meat soda, you got to make yourself a nice beef fizz. You got to get some condensed beef broth, some ginger ale, a splash of lemon juice. Mix that up all over some ice. You got a nice, cool, refreshing, beefy flavored summertime drink. Tasty. Love the show, though.
Okay, I've come to this conclusion. This thing that everyone keeps sharing and he just read, it's the same recipe.
Yeah, same exact recipe as that one that everybody...
Yeah, and it's old enough. I think my grandma Wilson made me this once. That's what I think happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I can think of, and it's the best... You know how you can only... Like science. We know the furthest planet that we can see, and that's fine for now. And later we may get more information. Our telescopes will get better. Radio contact with aliens. We'll finally find out what's beyond whatever planet we're talking about. But until then, we'll settle on this. My grandma made me a cold beef fizz.
There you go. That's what it had to be. It wasn't meat that had kind of a little sparkling nature to it. It was the other way around.
Yeah.
It was a drink that tasted like meat.
Yeah, I'll give it that. It's fine. We'll let that be the current theory of the day. Someone want to prove me wrong later.
Don't say that. You're inviting somebody now 2 weeks from now to say, I found this recipe shared on social media of this beef fizz drink.
If you do that, I need peer-reviewed, quality, scientifically backed proof that I ate a piece of meat that was carbonated. All right. So if that's what somebody does, they have to come to the table with the real deal, or forget it.
Tangible meat. Bubbly meat.
Yeah. I get this thing he just read. I get this probably once to 2-3 times a week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I
somebody.
see it pop up in Discord all the time. And it's funny, like it came in yesterday in Discord, and then somebody said, wow, has it already been 2 weeks since the last time somebody posted the same image?
Yeah, it happens a lot. I got 2 of them on socials somewhere this week.
Yeah.
And somebody on Instagram put it in a comment. It's just like nonstop. So anyway, and then the other thing I was going to tell you, I almost forgot about this. Speaking of Vegas, the day after we leave, they had a huge windstorm that came out of kind of nowhere and created total mayhem. And all of, not Flamingo,
Fremont?
Tropicana.
Oh, Tropicana, okay.
Tropicana, which runs counter to the strip, right?
Right, east-west.
Yeah. All up and down that thing for miles, all the power lines down.
Really? That high, those high winds? Wow.
Really bad. So I text Chris and I say, hey, man, you doing okay after that? Because I just saw you and we left the day before. Boy, we got lucky. And he goes, so did I. And he sent me a picture from a cruise ship. He's on a cruise.
He's on a cruise. He's on Norwegian, was it Norwegian? No, I was telling him I was on a Norwegian. He's doing a Royal Caribbean.
Right. Something down in Mexico.
Yeah. Nation of the Seas. Yeah, good for him, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So he missed it too, but they had no power up and down that whole thing for I don't know how long.
Tropicana. Wow.
It was really bad. And these photos and video coming out of there, it's like, that was not like that when I left. It wasn't our fault. We didn't do shit. We drove out, left you guys alone.
It was actually the air being propelled out of the back of your plane that knocked over all the power.
Well, I drove, so
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You didn't fly.
The speediness of my exhaust. Exactly. German engineering, baby. That's what we got there.
Yeah.
Brian, you want to know how to cook, you want to know how to cook an egg? You ever been?
I'd love to know how to cook an egg.
Well,
I
feel like you do know how.
Yeah, that's the first thing actually that I learned how to cook, that my mom taught me how to cook is, here, get a pan, put a little oil, drop the egg in, flip it over, eat it.
Turns out your mom is far more advanced than current AI models are.
Okay.
At least visually anyway. I don't know about, maybe a regular LLM would just give you the straight facts, but you put this into like give me a detailed image generated thing of how to make an egg, and you'll love this. So here it is. Let me expand this out. Step 1, heat pan. That's fine.
Heat pan.
I don't know why
you're
he's-
heating a pan with a whisk.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, right? Unless there's butter in there, I suppose. I don't know.
Yep.
Number 2, crack pan.
Cracked pan. Sure.
Now, there's already an egg in the pan, and he's holding an egg over the pan.
And he's holding an egg. Yeah. What we're not seeing is the other side of the shell, which is wide open, and the egg is falling out.
Yeah, we're going to assume that and give them the benefit of the doubt. Step 3 says poke egg, which is POUK, which is, I don't think a word, but that's fine.
Well, okay, sure.
That looks like egg on egg to me. So
You're basically putting more yolk. Add some more yolk to the yolk.
Yeah, from this other egg that you have. And then step 2 again, somehow. This, just whatever this is.
Yeah.
Step 2.
It's,
I don't know what's going on there.
Egg bowl, divided egg bowl. Okay.
And we repeat step 3, which is simply poo. And it's showing, I don't know what he's got with that spoon, maybe sauce. I don't know.
Adding something, yeah.
Step 4 is just a whisk without a handle, ghostly whisk doing nothing. I don't know what it's doing.
But finally get a little heat.
Yeah.
Finally get a little steam coming off of the pan.
And
All
then
right.
step 5, which is kind of goofy, fry egg. And now we have an egg that's just leaking.
and send a gift.
Oh, and send a gift. Yeah, whatever that's about.
Yeah.
Step 4, egg.
Pour more yolk. We need more yolk.
I just love egg. Fry egg, egg. And again, it went back to step 4. I don't know if anyone noticed, but we're all over the map here. Step 5 is, is close to the most accurate here, although there's a weird dot there. But here's your egg, ready to go.
Here's your egg, your cooked egg.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job, AI. You did it. How to fry an egg.
Yeah, boy, so many step 2s and step 4s and
I freaking love this stuff. Here's the problem. I know this stuff's going to get better.
yeah.
I don't want it to. I want it to
No,
be
I know.
goofy.
It's so much more fun now, right? It's like when the stuff where you translate a movie into another language and then translate it back into English and it sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Like that. I love it. I don't want those things to change.
No.
Life needs to be interesting that
Keep
way.
AI funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's get some hats made. Let's get that
Yep,
done.
sounds good.
Make them blue, though. F that red. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have a red hat, but I have a feeling if I had a red hat of any kind, even if it was blank, that's just a bad idea to wear that around, right?
Yeah, I mean, because somebody sees you from the back, immediately you're judged one way or the other, right? You're either part of the tribe or that guy's a wackadoodle.
Yeah.
I've got a red, it's a Happy Death Day hat, and I use it for when I'm mowing. But it came free in one of those loot boxes. Like, all right, Happy Death Day.
Oh,
Great.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody's driving by going, woo!
Nobody's driving it. Plus, it's a little bit more maroon. It's not. I don't have any hats that are red like the MAGA hats are red.
The cherry red, yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever that is. I notice Elon's not wearing his dark mega hat anymore.
Yes, no. Apparently.
And then Big
That,
T threatened to deport him the other day in a news conference. That was pretty
Yes,
fun.
he did. Send him back to South Africa.
This is such a great time.
I know
really
it's
to be
kind of
alive.
fun watching this couple break up.
It's the only good thing about it is that you can get a teeny bit of entertainment out of it.
Yes, exactly.
And I'd rather not be getting it at all. But if it's going to happen, at least there's this stupid ass.
At least it's very public and very, very angry.
Junior high ass bullshit going on.
It really is.
And they got the keys to everything.
Ladies of the Epstein files. Have a great day, DJ T.
Yep. And he comes back with, maybe we will send him back. Deportation's a beautiful thing.
You know, if we have Doge, look at Tesla. We could probably send him back to South Africa.
I heard somebody the other day. Sorry, you guys, to even be on the subject, but I heard someone say the only border crisis is the one between his makeup line and where his skin is white. It made me laugh. I laughed
That's
pretty
great.
hard.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
it wasn't bad. You got to get humor where you can get it, you guys. All right?
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you're just freaking miserable all the time.
That's the whole, that's when I do my impersonation of him. It's to diffuse the quote unquote power. It is like just to put him in a little tiny sad place.
Yeah, because that's where he belongs.
Yeah.
F that guy. Moving on. let's get to some news. We have news.
Yeah, we got news.
We've been doing discovery on news and working hard in the newsroom.
Our news team, the TMS news team, has been working hard.
Yeah, we can't let them down by not showing their work. So here you go. Today's news is brought to you by Coverville, where today we're back to a normal schedule because I don't have to worry about sneaking in those rides when it's cool. Ah, how nice. Celebrating the 80th birthday of Angela Trimble. Who the hell is Angela Trimble, you ask? Well, she's better known as Debbie Harry, lead vocalist of the band Blondie. She turned 80 a couple days ago. And so, of course, it's going to be an all Blondie episode, covers of and by the band, and a couple solo covers by Debbie Harry herself. I really like Debbie Harry.
I do too. Yeah,
she's great. She's still, around, right, doing things.
Still around, still singing. Like, just released something a couple of years ago, collaboration with some other artist.
Nice.
She's working a lot with the Dandy Warhols.
Oh.
Did a whole album with them a couple of years ago, which is interesting.
Singing on it and everything?
Yeah, singing on it, yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, 80 years old, 80 years young, Debbie Harry.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I still just picture her as just young, blonde.
Yep, absolutely.
Maybe she's Debbie slightly less hairy now. I don't know. That's rude. I mean, I'm slightly less hairy too. So listen, I'm not. I'm in the same boat. This is not me giving her any shit. All right, giant wind turbine blades.
Yeah.
Crashed into traffic on a busy highway. Good Lord. This is in Maryland. I don't feel like we get enough Maryland stories. So
no, we really don't. It's about time that we get some news from Maryland and bring them to the party.
That's right. Baltimore, what up? Get those Orioles out there doing what they do. This is kind of a horrifying thing. The wind turbine blade fell into the Interstate 70 near Hagerstown, or is it Hagerstown? Sammy Hagarstown. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hagerstown,
but I don't know.
Sounds like a cool town. Hagerstown.
I don't want to invite you mispronounced Hagerstown.
Oh, we'll get it for sure.
Pedantic bunch of freaks.
Buttholes. We got a week before maybe they'll simmer down and won't send us one. We'll see.
We'll see.
It sounds like a cool town, but look at this picture, everybody. This is one of the blades just laying in the highway.
Yeah. Wow.
Nasty. This happened at 5:30 a.m. That is a terrible time to have anything happen. When a truck carrying a blade... Oh, so the blade didn't fly off the thing. It didn't
fall off a thing. I know. That's what it sounds like, right? Like the headline makes it sound like giant wind turbine blade crashes into traffic on busy highway. Yeah. Well, it was among the traffic, and then it came off the truck. And
yes, this channel, the Fox 96.1,
Yeah.
I think your headline work maybe needs a little bit of tweakage. All right.
Exactly.
Don't be leading us down no path where we think an entire turbine lost its control and sent blades all over Maryland. Okay?
Right. Causing the blade to detach and partially block both westbound. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's crashing.
Yeah, I guess that's crashing. Sure.
Partially block traffic because it detached.
I guess the initial fall was probably gnarly because it's a huge thing, and from what I can tell in this image, that huge crane is what was holding it or something. I don't know how you transport that thing around.
No, I think the crane is trying to put it back up. Like, it looks like that semi there on, I think, let me pull up the photo better on my side. But it looks like the truck on the left side is what was carrying it.
I see what you're saying. So is it, wow, that's really long. One of these long loads where you got probably had to have, what do they call that? They have other cars along with it to keep people away or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
I don't know what that's called. Autocade. Not autocade. What's wrong with me?
A barricade you're talking about?
I don't know what you call that.
Yeah.
What do you call
with a barricade?
What about all the cars go when a president's going somewhere and they
motorcade. That's a motorcade.
Is it like that? I don't know what the word is, but it's like I don't know. Protective.
Oh, where you've got the cars following with the lights and stuff like that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Escort? Chat says maybe convoy. Claire says
convoy.
They
got $50.
Yeah, great big convoy.
We see these all the time. Not falling off trucks, but there's the company Esthesis or something like that is here in Colorado that makes and shapes the blades. And Tristan worked there for about a month. This is one of these places where, you're sanding these things constantly, and the air is just thick with this dust, toxic dust. They're having to wear like hazmat suits and breathers and stuff like that. And even wearing all that, he'd still come home like coughing. It's like, yeah, let's find you something else.
Yeah, that didn't seem good. Seems kind of cool up front, but once you get in there. Yeah. So that's wild to me. I would think that'd be a machine doing that, but I guess these are so large. Yeah, I guess
I think they're probably. I'm sure he wasn't just using his hand to sand it. I'm sure he was using a machine to sand it.
Sure.
Or get it in the sander or whatever. But,
well, they said, okay, so for the most part, nobody was super hurt, although one person was taken to a medical center with non-life-threatening injuries, so probably just wrong place, wrong time in the car and got banged up.
Yeah.
But they're okay. The incident led to closure of all westbound lanes and 2 eastbound lanes near the intersection. Crews worked to clear the scene. All lanes were reopened by 8:28. That's actually a long time from 5:30.
Wow, no kidding.
That traffic was pissed.
Yeah, and that's exactly on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
That is...
don't like that at all.
People were late to work that day in Maryland.
The blade, which belonged to a turbine from the Roth Rock Wind Farm in Oakland, Maryland, was captured on camera by the Maryland Transportation Place. Look, I think they need to upgrade their camera. That is some blurry bullshit.
That is crap camera.
Really bad. What is the year here?
How are you supposed to do the whole person of interest thing, spotting somebody's license plate and figure out where they're taking their captor if you can't even like tell, is that a car or is that a smudge on the lens?
Yeah, that would have sucked. That whole mess is a bad one. But I always like these stories because they are reminders that are what we think are these really efficient public transit things that we do for highways, freeways, 6 lanes across. It all goes to shit when one truck full of baked beans tips over or one of these falls off or that's it. That's the deal. Boy,
Yep.
Claire pretty dismissive of our stories today. Have you noticed that a little bit?
She is. She's a little salty.
You a little salty today, Claire? You all right over there? Can we send you a hot bowl of the Lucky Charms? I'll stop looking at chat. I mean, I love Claire, but sometimes she's grouchy.
A little distracting, yes.
Hey, we're just here having a good time, having fun, trying to cheer each other up, having a good time. I agree that it sucks people are getting deported, but I don't know that a morning show would do itself a favor by just talking about that for the entire hour and a half.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed about that as well. Anyway, let's move on.
Indeed.
I'm not looking at chat now. It's now over there. Chinese hotel told wake up service including red pandas climbing into guest beds must stop.
So, I need to know more.
Okay.
Like red Disney turning red pandas,
The ones that
wake up service.
The ones that we have at a zoo here that they never. Every time we go there, it's even in the season they're supposed to be the most active and stuff.
Yeah,
because they do have some seasonal stuff they have to do.
Yeah,
or they won't come out. They get kind of hibernating certain times of the year. Every time we go, even at the time where they're supposed to be all out running around, they are never out. I'm convinced the Hogle Zoo in Salt Lake City is lying to me that there are red pandas there. I don't think they're there.
No, it's a empty promise of the red panda. We have them here we have one here at the Denver Zoo, and it makes itself visible. I don't know if maybe they just don't give it enough hidey hole space. Maybe like the Hogle Zoo has more hidey hole space for it to go, but Denver Zoo, you can spot it. Come here and look at our red panda.
I might, because every time I go,
yeah,
and I get excited because I think they're really cool looking. And I'm thinking, sweet, I get to see the red pandas today because it's the time of year they told me they're super active.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Closest I ever got was like a lump of fur in the corner that might have been one.
Could have just been a stuffed animal that they put there. Oh, we've really got to do something. They're starting to get onto us. So we got to put anybody got a red stuffed animal we can put there?
Yeah, or like one of the zoo people dropped a hat or something. For all I know, that is nothing over there.
Right.
It's fuzzy mold growth like I found in my keyboard cleaner yesterday. By the way, if you want to freak your family out, run around with that open and just say, look, everybody, look, check it out. Look at it. That thing I showed yesterday with the mold in it. They love that.
Oh, my God. I know. Because you stuck your nose in it, apparently, and they're like, he's going to die now.
They were all losing it. Yeah. Although, was it not Dr. Tolbert? Somebody else told me that it's food mold, which is not a problem if you sniff it.
Yeah, isn't it? Don't we get penicillin from food mold?
I think so.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
not just in its like raw right off the bread form.
Right. That's how we discovered it, but I think we were fine. I don't think we do it like we used to do it. They don't just scrape it off bread anymore, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And put it right in your veins. Right. This will clear your infection right up, sir.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so here's the deal. Chinese hotel's been ordered to end its unusual wake-up call service that involves red pandas climbing onto guest beds after concerns for safety and animal rights. These are really rare over here. I don't know if they're rare in Japan, in China. But the red pandas are super rare in the States.
I was under the impression, perhaps completely incorrectly, that they were not endangered. What's the stage before endangered? Like there's a...
Protected?
Protected, maybe. Yeah, that's probably it.
That sounds right for some reason.
Endangered, then extinct.
Something like that, yeah. Mm-hmm. It says the service involves bringing one of the hotel's red pandas. That's just a weird thing to say. The hotel has red pandas.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was in Vegas and nobody
they
had
just
this.
keep him in a closet and say, "All right, you five, go wake up Mr. Johnson in room 3."
Yeah. Take Rusty. He's looking
right.
spry.
Exactly.
So they take the pandas up to the guest bedroom in the morning, allowing the panda to roam freely around the room and climb onto the bed and just kind of, it's like their little wake-up service. It's very weird. Reviews online for the resort shows guests checking in so they can just book the experience and get up close to a cute furry animal in the comfort of their own room. One British couple, Rianne and Ben, who run the YouTube channel, of course, on tour with Driggers. Driggers? Dridgers?
On tour with Dridgers.
Sure. Documented their experience with the red pandas at the Lehi Ledu Lijiang Holiday Hotel in April. Video shows red panda first climbing up a tree in a small courtyard between rooms before it roams through the corridor to the couple's room with a staff member where it is given an apple in chunks form and hops on the bed.
So...
promptly shat on the guy's face.
Yeah, that's the part that's not really talked about much, is that the pandas aren't just walking into the hotel room alone. They're coming in with a handler, right? Mm-hmm. And a staff member, which means you're sitting there sleeping and a staff member of the hotel is coming into your room with a red panda to toss it on your bed with some apple chunks.
Yeah, I feel like... mission accomplished if you're trying to wake me up, I guess.
Yeah. I just don't want a dude from the hotel. I don't mind waking up with an animal on the bed, but I don't want just a dude from the hotel standing there like, here, give him some apple pieces. Like that.
They like chunks of apple.
But red pandas are the most freaking adorable.
Oh, there's the cutest things on the planet.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm so pissed at the Hogle Zoo, you bastards.
Yeah.
And they have a beautiful habitat there. It's clear they've taken really careful caution of it. They even have warnings out front saying, don't yell at these. These are special. Something. This one's been all over the world. And all this language on the front of their habitat. It's clear that the zoo has taken extra care. But I'm starting to think it's all just a ruse to make me think they're in there, damn it. Pisses me off.
Probably. Hey, here's the video of... On tour with the Driggers.
Oh,
this is the British couple that.
Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, here we go. That panda's on their bed, eating apple chunks. Coming up on Zib Zib Zoodoo.
Yeah, they're going to give us like 18 minutes of. Here's other things about the hotel room, and it's got a very weird couch in the back, and
all right,
free robe, and blah blah blah.
Here we go. There he is. Aww.
Oh my gosh.
I want one.
Totally, right? It's
but
like
I think that's why they're complaining, though, is because that's exploiting the animal. This isn't for us to do, No. We should have to roam around their habitat and wake them up. We should be pissing them off in the morning.
Exactly. Yep.
Those are beautiful. I want one. It's never going to happen, but I'd love one. I'd just like to see one, Hogle Zoo. I'm just going to keep calling them out, you bastards.
Yeah, Hogle Zoo. Yeah. Oh, wow, like 4 people from the hotel come into your room with this thing.
Yeah, half the whole staff. That bed is short, by the way. I can tell.
There's like, so that must be like a little kid's bed or something, because the bed that the red panda's on is pretty tall.
It's not too bad. The height of that one's good. The length's a little short, but every Asian bed I ever slept in when I was in China and Tokyo were too short. I'm not their prime clientele.
Yeah.
And their sinks were 400 miles below me. Just
like if you want to wash your face, you were like
fully in half bent over. Yeah, it would hurt. I'd actually like to. It's better to kneel on a pillow or something and use the sink than it was to stand. This is a me problem. I don't blame an entire nation or continent full of shorter than average folks.
Of course.
I blame me and whatever the hell's wrong with me. You know,
your giant jeans.
Yeah, my huge jeans. I got a big pair of jeans. Well, anyway, that's a lot of fun there. They got
great.
going there.
Yeah.
Let's see. And they said they have to stop because
they can't do it. So people are the PETA, the equivalent of PETA or something.
Yeah, a bunch of animal groups.
Local Forestry Bureau looks like. Okay.
Yeah. So they'll shut that down.
Bummer.
Yeah,
but I guess, that's not the natural habitat for turns out a double hotel room is not the the natural habitat for a red panda.
Stuff always gets worse when YouTube influencers get involved too. If you notice that.
Yeah, well, it brings attention. Like, we didn't know they were doing that until we saw this thing with 1 million views.
I do think I was talking to Carter about this yesterday, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we're entering a new phase where the weirdest crimes will be around the influence culture. There's like some OnlyFans lady in the news lately that cut her boyfriend's head off or something.
Oh, jeez.
There's like the girl in Mexico that was shot during a live thing. Who was a big time TikToker. Like
the couple that was traveling across country and
right.
Yeah.
The Patootie.
Petito.
That was it. Yeah, it was here in Utah. Yeah. That all happened.
Right. Yeah.
That sucked for us and them. Mostly them. Mostly her and her family. I feel terrible for them.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm trying to. I want to make it clear.
She got the worst of it.
Yeah, I want to make this clear. I do not think Utah suffered much from what happened there.
Right, right. As much as she did.
A lot of people gave the highway patrolman a lot of crap for not catching the signs.
Yeah,
they have body cam footage. Now that I've seen that from the documentary, I don't think he's deserving of all the heat because she just kept talking about how everything was fine. We're good. We just got in a little bit of an argument. It's fine. We can go. Here's what we're doing. It didn't seem like any imminent danger on that video, and so they let him go. But it's a 20/20 hindsight thing. It's rough.
Of course. When in the context of what you know now, looking at that, you can say, "Oh, wow, there are all these signs," but at the time there was nothing to indicate that.
Yep. Oh yeah, Ruby Frank.
I imagine they have people fighting all the time that get pulled over because they're so distracted by their fight they don't realize they're swerving or speeding or something like that.
Oh hell yeah, for sure. Mac Addict says, "Why do influencers get paid money? Because they have many views on content that are on platforms that pay them. That's it. That's it. So if you're monetized on, I don't know, TikTok, you rake in multiple chunks of cash." And some people, I know someone who's only about 50,000, 60,000 followers over there, but their videos tend to hit big, even with a more average following. And they're pulling in $5,000 every 2 weeks or something. It's ridiculous amounts of money.
Wow.
You know what you know what Brian and I could use? $5,000 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Totally fine with that.
I could use that. Anyway, red pandas. What are you going to do? Here's a story about a human gene introduced into mice. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
This I thought was interesting and also maybe a little bait for Bobby, who's on vacation right now, so that's why we don't see him in the chat the last few days.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But if Wind gets back to Bobby, I may share this link with him.
This would be
privately.
a great story for him next time we have him on.
Yeah, and he can debunk whatever I do wrong here. But human gene makes mice speak is the headline.
Okay.
Talking mice, Brian. Uh-oh.
It's happening. It's secreted in. It's happening.
Yeah, it's that time they let Jerry speak on Tom and Jerry, and no one liked it. It was one cartoon.
Oh, really?
Jerry said stuff. Normally, he's a silent protagonist. Tom usually too. But something, I don't remember what the deal was, but he talked. And this is in the early ones when they were good. not the crap in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I remember Jerry saying something, and me and my friends were horrified that this was a thing. We couldn't believe they tried to give him a voice. You should never do that. But apparently we in Real Science are about to. Scientists have done this. They've altered rodents with language DNA from humans and triggered startling changes in vocal behavior. In a stunning leap of genetic research, they say, scientists have managed to insert a human gene into mice, resulting in an unexpected altered vocalization. Give me more cheese, says the mouse. Groundbreaking experiment conducted by Rockefeller University has revealed a small genetic change that will have significant effects on communication by introducing the human-specific NOVA1 gene into mice. Researchers have opened new avenues for understanding the evolution of vocal communication, shedding light on how humans may have developed their advanced language skills. What I want to hear is mouse talk. The findings were remarkable. Baby mice with this thing exhibited different vocalizations compared to those with typical mouse version. So like regular mouse with no change, just whatever. And then these were significantly different.
Like some more variation in the sound that they were making, basically.
Yep.
Or vocalizations.
Says specifically when calling to their mothers, these baby mice, these modified mice produced higher pitch squeaks and a different mix of sounds than their non-changed counterparts. These changes are not just minor, they provide critical insights into how complex vocal communication might have evolved over time. The goal of this science is not to give mice a voice. The goal of this science is to see if we can figure out how we became such a communicative species, how that evolved. So it's kind of interesting.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah, I never even really think about what it takes, like why we have a language and communication and why other animals appear not to. I mean, they make, there's the warning sounds they make, and then there's the welcoming sounds and the way they speak to their young, and the way that penguins, for example, the parents can make a noise that the penguin on the other side of the thing can say, oh, that's my mom, and they start making their way over to that one, which is really amazing. But actually, like an actual language, an actual expansive language, and what it takes to, is it do we have more muscles in our tongue that allow us to do that, or is it something else genetic? So
that's interesting, right?
Stuff.
Yeah, this is like, it's a little like Secret of NIMH, so we have to be a little careful,
Right.
Because the NIMH people, they really...
Nobody asked the mice if they want to speak.
Yeah. And that big scary owl going, come inside or go away. I love that movie so much. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, Tally's talking about sending us a voicemail or something about this.
Send it.
Because she's...
Get it in.
She's,
I'll play it.
Mouse scientist, or scientist who happens to work with mice.
Yeah, send us a thing. I'll be happy to play it.
Yeah.
All right, while we wait for that, let's do this. More China.
Okay.
China.
More China.
Another Trump impression, even if you didn't know it. She says she's not sending it?
Oh, okay. Somebody told you to send a voice message.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Do what you're going to do. Chinese humanoid robots generate more soccer excitement than their humanoid counterparts.
Okay.
Or their human
generate
counterparts.
More soccer excitement. So people are more excited to watch robots play soccer than humans?
I guess that's the basis of this, sure. While Chinese men's soccer team hasn't generated much excitement in recent years, humanoid robot teams have won over fans in Beijing based on the AI technology involved more on the AI technology involved than any athletic prowess shown. It's a weird sentence. We'll take it.
Okay. Yeah.
4 teams of humanoid, I keep saying humanoid, robots faced off in a fully autonomous 3-on-3 soccer match. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Powered entirely by artificial intelligence on Saturday night in the Chinese capital, in what was touted as China's first and a preview for the upcoming World Humanoid Robot Games to take place in Beijing. I would actually want to tune into that.
Here's the thing. We're proving it right here that if it was saying, they're going to be having a 3-on-3 human soccer match in China, we'd be like, all right, cool. But the fact that it's robots, like, okay, we're proving that it is generating more excitement than their human counterparts.
Yeah, I want to see this. But I need some translation. I don't know Chinese, so I can't. I need to have some commentary I can understand.
This team is awesome. Oh my gosh.
Oh, we got video in there?
We have video on the website.
Oh, look at this. Okay. So there's them out there playing, little photo of them.
Yeah.
There's some, whoops. AP, don't give me a pop-up.
There's a play button in the bottom left corner.
What happened
the
here?
Stretcher.
They're taking a guy out.
That is some Futurama Bender-looking bullshit right there.
That's so stupid.
That photo at the very top actually has a play button on the bottom left.
I'm in. I'm all in. Yeah. Bring this to the rest of the world, China. This could be your great.
They sure get injured easily, though. Just fell right over and it's out.
It's fantastic. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, my sister will be here. We're going to talk about. We're going to kind of sum up the whole entirety of the time management stuff on the other end of what you guys did, but also just kind of some bookend thoughts on that.
A little recap. Okay, cool.
So watch for that coming up after this song Brian brought.
Yes, this is a singer named Daisy the Great. She has a brand new album called The Rubber Teeth Talk. It's out via S-Curve Records. She's also got a headline tour coming in the fall, so you can find out more about that if you enjoy this, and I think you will. Let's see. She's inspired by folks like Fiona Apple, The Sundays, David Bowie, Dirty Projectors, and Liz Phair. Love all of those, so that's good. Great. Yeah. Here is Daisy the Great and Dog.
Believe me, I can explain. Now look, I don't care what you heard. I can explain. Give me 2 minutes.
I just had phone sex.
And we're back. Who is that again?
That is Daisy the Great from her brand new album, The Rubber Teeth Talk, and a song called Dog.
Oh, that's awesome. Song called Dog.
Song called Dog.
All right, let's get this going on right here, if I can find her intro.
Psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy. Purely psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy. Lying down on the couch.
It's too early for a fish sandwich.
It certainly is, but it's not too early to add Wendi to this call, who is somewhere I've never been. What's the name of this town you're in?
Have you never been to Camas?
I don't think maybe I've been to Camas.
You know, like Mirror Lake, that area. We're actually in a different town, but I forgot the name of it.
You called it not Oxford. What'd you say in our text?
Oakley.
Yeah, I've never been to specifically something called Oakley, and then you sent me a photo of what looked like a rodeo.
It's dude, it's a 90-year rodeo. You've never heard of this?
I really haven't. No.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I mean, I know about the Lehigh rodeo is the popular one up this way, but I don't know.
Oakley's like, I don't know. I feel like it's from my childhood. Everyone went on dates to the Oakley rodeo. This is weird. I know we have a gap in age, but maybe it got cool when I was in.
Maybe I don't know why. I've never heard of it. I know the sunglasses company, Oakley's. I know that.
Oh, is it the same? Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, this looks like fun. I would go here.
It does.
Yeah. I like a rodeo.
Yeah, it's a good old boys' time.
Sure.
There was a rodeo in Greeley at the end of our bike ride. The Greeley Stampede, which happens every year. They timed it poorly because it was the same weekend. But Ludicrous was playing, of all people, to be playing at the Greeley Stampede.
That is a surprise to me.
Yes, it is. Yes.
This is perfect.
Well, you're gonna get. Hey, Wendi, it's good to have you here. I know you're in you're in the rural whatever. You got good internet though, so that's cool.
I know. You know what it is, guys. I keep messing with the audio, and turns out there's things to do to make it better.
There sure are. And look at you.
Whatever the standard setting you got when you bought the thing is. I keep it at that. Turns out
you're a factory. You're a factory setting person. Sure.
I really am.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we understand.
Sorry.
But no big deal because you're still here in the state. We're going to see you tomorrow at the 4th of July funness. Going to go get to see our mom on Saturday, which is why I switched Films Act. That'll be fun. So we got all kinds of plans. But before we do any of that, speaking of time, let's sum up the time management stuff that you guys just completed over at No Better You. Bookend this a bit for us. Give us we started on the other side of why we need to manage our time better. Now we're all the way on the other side. Did we learn anything? Is there anything in that you went, interesting. This group's dynamic taught Wendi this even, and here's what we're going to do or whatever. How do you want to approach that?
Yeah, and I'm going to ask Brian you a couple questions because
Yes,
I'd
please
like
do.
your feedback.
As a student that hasn't completed the last week yet, yes.
Yeah, here's the funny part, Brian. You're missing the best week. The best week. Is
I know I am. Yeah. Well, it's just funny to I just haven't had time for the time management class to be there live, but
I know.
time
And
mastery.
it is summer. I mean, if I was to optimize this should have been February when everyone's sitting around like I hate life,
Yeah,
June's a little more fun.
Sure.
No, it ended up being such a good group and so fun. And what was interesting is I have the old faithfuls that like do any class, and they're awesome and I adore them and I'm so grateful for them. We got a lot of new people that I'd never met, didn't know them at all, and just brought so much amazing thought and care to it. It was awesome. So it was really fun. I feel like I know I taught the class, but I feel like I really got a lot out of it.
Yeah.
And it was a great group. So we really had a lot of fun.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear from Brian. And I actually have some of their feedback. I was going to share a couple things that they shared, but I'd love to hear, Brian, your thoughts. Any takeaways, anything for you that you're like,
does Wendy know about the thing you're making, Brian? Does she aware of that?
No. What?
Just tell her about that.
So one of the things that we talked about was like the figuring out your schedule and then figuring out like here are the things in my day that'll take 10 minutes and can knock one of those out to get some satisfaction, or 20 minutes or whatever. And I like a good physical, tangible to-do list. I like paper, but I like something. The big problem with paper that digital has it on it is that you can move things around and get things where you want it. So I'm actually 3D printing based on something I saw a few weeks ago on TV with the those old air traffic controller racks where they'd put the planes. Each plane would be its own little strip in the rack, and they could move the racks up and down. They could slide another plane in between two other ones and move, change the order of priority.
That's cool.
That is the system that works for me as far as visually tracking, like, I need to do this. Just got an email from a client that this needs to kind of take precedence or has to be higher priority, but it's only going to take me 20 minutes. So I'm designing 3D printing a little track that I can put each of those items in as a to-do list, and it's got a space for a 6-sided die, so I can say, all right, 1 is 10 minutes, 2 is 20 minutes, 3 is 30 minutes for how long I assume it's going to take. And then when I'm doing my planning the day before, at the last, my least productive part of the day, and saying, here are the things I'm going to do tomorrow, the 3-hour task, and then a few smaller tasks, I can say, all right, this is the order I'm going to get stuff done in. Come in the next morning, and it's all ready for me to start knocking it out.
I think that's awesome. This like tangible physicality is very cool, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like there is so I'm the very same Brian. I need physical paper. So I have everything on an electric calendar because, of course, I have to on one hand.
Sure.
And then I handwrite it on a handwritten calendar as well because I need to feel, I don't know. I honestly think it's just when you were born. Like I do.
No.
Sure.
I think you just need something. That's super cool.
Right
okay.
here is my handwritten calendar right here. Like, you can't, it's so washed out, but
do you feel like you have you've gamified it a little bit with the variety?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Which is the thing that works for me is gamifying it. So yes,
totally.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's the course helped me realize that I'm not going to change myself. I'm not going to change. I need to change the systems to support the way that I work as opposed to trying to change myself. So, which honestly is an important thing.
Yeah. The deepest thing I think anyone learns. For me, that's I think Kim gave us the Know Better You title, right? But it really is the concept of when you know yourself better and then work with your actual self instead of some other. I think this is where, you watch something on TikTok and you're like, okay, I'm going to do that thing. And it may resonate and work really well with you and your personality. And sometimes it just never will. And I think time is one of those things that are so confusing in how it applies to us because I could just observe a family. Like we go to the rodeo and there was a lot of families around us. And I watched how they actually talked about being on time, being late, how they treated one another regarding walking slow. I heard someone call someone else lazy. I was like, hi, guys. I'm observing. But it just, I mean, right within just a normal context, you could hear all the messages given to a kid about time management, and their personality being good or bad related to time. And that's wild to think about, right? Yeah. Time is made up anyway.
Sure.
I really thought today was the 4th of July, so I'm not doing well with time.
That's true. I sent Wendi a text last night, and I said, hey, are we you good for tomorrow? She's like, oh, crap, I thought tomorrow was the 4th.
I really did.
Yeah.
I was like, are we driving right to Misha's house for the swim party? What is happening?
The week's pretty screwed up right now.
It is. Yeah. And we hiked, I don't know if any of you have ever done the Fiery Furnace in Arches National Park, but... sign up now. It is the most beautiful, crazy, and that you have a tour guide. You have like a ranger take you, or you're gonna die. So just FYI, don't do it without a ranger. And we had a blast, and we were so hot and tired afterwards. We took a nap, and everyone woke up utterly confused. And one of my kids is like, "Is it Thursday?" I'm like, "It's still Monday."
Yeah.
Like the fact that it can shift, a nap will do that to you, right? Or
oh, yeah,
being on vacation or whatever. Like time really is this moving thing, and you're at the dentist. Time takes a long time. When you're having the best moment you've waited for a long time to have, it's going to go fast. Right. So it really fluctuates, and I think that's it's funny how we sort of have had these things tied to our worth as a person. And that's part of, like, if you're neurodivergent at all, time is going to feel really different for you than it does for somebody else. And those judgments, because, the rest of the world has agreed to follow clocks and figure it out. If you read about the history of time and when clocks first existed and why and who decided, it's like, oh, this is arbitrary. It feels like money. It's all made up.
Yeah. We just agreed on a system. And that was
we did. And then we all agreed to work 40 hours. I don't know why we all signed up for that one. But anyway,
it's a rough
one. that idea is like, okay, well, there's this thing, but most people come to it as those messages from when they were kids of they were lazy, they're not very productive, or the absolute opposite, which is like their only value is being productive.
Yeah.
And so you take whatever that was, and then you add modern life. People are like, I'm not okay. So that was really the fun part about it. Is there were some good techniques. I think people really liked the 3-3-3. So I'll just share what that is really quick. That's you do 3. You plan for 3 hours of deep work. They don't have to be consecutive, but 3 hours where you are really doing the work, your biggest project, the hardest task, the thing you really want done, right? So say, Scott, you had to draw something for somebody, right? You had to create something.
Sure.
And you lock your phone away. You have it designated on the calendar. For me, I need mood music. I need to be standing at a standing desk. Like you find
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
You find your thing, and then you do that work for an hour and take a break. Or whatever. And that's the first 3. The second 3 is 3 sort of urgent tasks that are driving you nuts, like get your dentist appointment, get your car oil change.
Schedule a windshield replacement, that.
Yes, same. And then the third one is 3 maintenance life tasks, right? So it's just like throwing in a load of laundry, putting the dishes away. And it really does make you feel like, oh, I'm actually intentionally living my life. I'm not covered in piles of laundry or dishes. That eventually gets really good if you're doing 3 things a day, So anyway, that people really seem to like that. So I think those were valuable. And then a lot of people responded well to the trying to figure out your own time personality, your time identity, how you talk to yourself, where those things came from, I think can be really impactful. So Brian, did you notice any of that for yourself, that your time identity needed tweaking or?
Definitely. And definitely got a little more productive. I haven't gotten, I think when I implement some more of these things, I'm going to get a lot more productive. But I noticed an improvement that I realized, if I did this 3-hour thing every day and did these, the smaller tasks every day, I would be way more productive. The days that I did it, noticed a big difference. So
yeah. It's getting stuff into habit. That's
exactly. You got to do it for 2 weeks to lock it in, I think is what they say.
Yeah. And so that is, what they actually say is wrong. 21 days came from a that was a very common thing to say. It takes 3 weeks
days.
or 21 days, right?
Yeah.
It was from a self-help book in like the 50s or 60s, and some dude just said it. It was
just randomly, arbitrarily came up with that number.
And the research is actually on average is 64 days or 68 days, somewhere around there, and depending on the hardness of the task.
Wow.
So a really hard task might be 200 days.
Yeah.
So we're all like, I didn't do it in 3 weeks. Well, because some rando made that up a long time ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, we're going to do another round in the fall, and so hopefully people are.
Did stuff from that or? I actually had a question about neurodivergency. I don't know if this is a little throwing this at you all at once, but that implies there's a baseline, right? Like if you say, "Oh, these people are neurodivergent," well, okay, but where's the baseline that you compare them to? So, are there people that are just like they're the baseline and they have no divergence?
Yellow stripe down the middle of the road.
Yeah. Do those people exist?
Neurotypical is the current word we use for that.
Okay.
And then you're diverging from the typical is the why you say neurodivergent.
Okay.
And really, it's if you think about maybe the perfect. I think it's changing. I think these words will be obsolete one day, to be honest. But I think the neurotypical thing is sort of like working memory, sense of time, spatial relations, like all of the sort of psychological abilities our brain has. They're just going to follow in the middle of the road. So they're going to do well in a classroom. They're going to be able to sit and focus and produce the work, right? So you're going to have a majority of kids in a classroom be able to do that. That's where we're getting the neurotypical. Mm-hmm. They process both visually, auditorily. There are no diverging organic structures. There's no other mental processes that are sort of out of the ordinary, and it just kind of works, right?
Right.
So that has been historically the template, and then when anyone diverges from that, there's different names for that or reasons. So like apraxia or like you don't process auditorily at all, or nonverbal learning disorder. You cannot look at someone's face and figure out what the heck is happening, right? So there's all these different ways our brains are diverging in how they do the fundamentals of, working through life.
Right.
And so what we thought is like, oh no, that can't be right. But the reality is we don't have explorers, and we don't have city builders, and we don't have risk takers, or most of the fruit we eat without somebody who's a little impulsive, or somebody who's willing to strap on, the backpack and go to where no one's gone before. That is a different kind of brain, and very much an ADHD brain. So you take, I don't know if you've ever seen like this before, where there's like a working dog and somebody gets it as a family pet, and that dog is miserable and eating all the furniture and is just like, and they think it's a bad dog. It's like, no.
Right.
This dog should be running 60
born out
miles
of
an
his
hour
mind.
in a field chasing cattle. And when you put it there, it's amazing, right? And we know this. Let's take ADHD, for example. We take a classroom of kids, and they've done this, of course. They've taken a classroom of kids and had a portion of the year in class and marked, all the behaviors sort of collated, like, okay, this kid does this, that. The kids with ADHD are suffering in that classroom. It's hard. It is not their best work. And then the neurotypical kids are doing great, right?
Yeah.
And then they switch and they take them to an outside classroom. So they spent the next 3 months in the woods for school.
Yeah.
And the kids with ADHD become the leaders. The kids with ADHD are thriving. Their grades go up. Everything about what they're doing improves. And then the neurotypical kids are maybe last in line, or maybe are not quite, because their risk taking is much less. They're less impulsive. They're less whatever. And so they turn into sort of followers versus leaders in a classroom. So right there, you can see like there's no problem. It's the setting. And the setting can be a problem for someone, depending on which way your brain operates.
Right.
But I often think about just the various things that exist because somebody was brave enough. So we're on this beautiful, amazing hike, fiery furnace It is hot, but it is also misleading. It is, you're not dying.
No,
actually.
you'll make it. I remember I did this long time ago when I was much younger. That's why I don't remember it's weird that I don't remember that town because you're kind of in the same area there. I think Kanab. I guess I remember.
No. You're thinking we were in Moab, but we are now 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that fire, everything in the Moab zone.
Yeah,
it's another
incredible.
Planet, dude. It's so cool. Gosh dang.
And the whole time you're like, why are we not all dead? Because one slip up and we're dehydrated. It's over.
Yeah.
We actually stayed in this motel, and my son was very worried. It was just real racist, and we shouldn't be there. It's called the Apache Motel.
Ah, the Apache Motel.
Yeah, and it's.
Let me guess. It was Elliot who was.
Yeah, he's very concerned.
Yeah.
Also, he's like, this rodeo is just like, kind of racist. I was like, honey, I know. We're exploring a world where everyone is white and wearing a cowboy hat. But anyway, so in the Apache Motel is the hotel or the motel that John Wayne stayed in, and we stayed in John Wayne's room because it was the biggest one to fit our whole family. Yeah. I am pretty sure I slept in John Wayne's bed.
Dude,
that was so old.
Yeah, Duke's bed. That's awesome. You didn't find like a big impacted turd in the toilet.
Oh gosh, no. Okay. But it did. It's a historical site, and for reasons. But anyway, it was pretty fun.
That's awesome.
But what I was going to say is the fiery furnace is, it's just you're bouldering a little bit and kind of having to do that thing where your hands are on one set of walls and you're walking on the other, and so it was a blast. Anyway, we're going along, and our guide is 12 years old and so nice and telling us all the things. He was so great. Anyway, he takes us into this like cold kind of cavern thing. He doesn't say look up or anything. He just kind of sees what we do, and then we go, and he goes, I want you all to sit up there, And then he tells the story about these explorers in the 60s and 70s who decided they wanted to map every single arch.
Yeah.
And there are 2,000, 3,000 arches, something crazy.
Easily that, yeah.
Yeah, and so they went days and days and days and weeks and months just climbing and exploring and trying to find it. And there's the story of the guy. I mean, these are not classroom kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a different brain that goes on with this, right? Anyway, so he climbs into the space we're in, and our guide said, he was hot, he was about to eat his lunch, he took his hat off, he was exhausted, and he looked up, and we all look up at the same time, and there is this unbelievable arch right above us. You would have never seen it. And it's called Surprise Arch.
There you go.
And it really was a surprise.
Yeah, perfect name. Wow.
But it made me think about this idea of, you can think of like how civilizations could start, right? Like you have the initial explorer, right? That's a different set of brain and skills and desires and personality. And then you have, the early settlers and what they do. And then you have the like establishers. Then you have, you can think of businesses this way. Like we're good at different phases for things. It's what makes humanity awesome. It's been challenging for those who are neurodivergent when their only option has been sort of the four walls of a particular institution, and feeling like they must be dumb, they must be lazy, they must be these things. But if we put them and running an expedition, we'd have the opposite. We'd be like, I don't like that guy. He's really good at sitting down and doing math. He is not helpful when I need to build a fire. So we need all kinds, is I guess my point.
Yeah. Wow, that's fantastic. That's way more than I thought. It was just a much simpler thing, but what you described about neurodivergency is added to my knowledge list. So thank you for that. Yeah. My pile of great ideas has increased today.
Do you realize you're probably neurodivergent?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just, when we were young, they just said I was weird, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
100%. I've thought about this at various times because I think if you were a kid now, and you had different parents, because I think our parents, Dad was clearly neurodivergent. He was left-handed, which at the time he was beat for. He had probably dyspraxia and dyslexia. Yep. He could build a car from scratch when he was 14. Yep. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
And then the school had zero idea what to do with that, right?
Right.
And then your era was sort of the beginning of medicating kids with ADHD and some other stuff.
Sure.
I think Mom and Dad just were like, no, he's creative.
No, he's creative and weird. He's fine.
Creative is a good word, I think, versus in maybe a different family might have been different, right? But I think about you now with the wrong parents, and I think, oh man, you'd have
I'd have been screwed.
A couple things.
Yeah, no, Carter would be screwed.
Yeah.
If she had parents that did not jive with her particular divergent paths of the way she thinks and the way she is. She would have rebelled so hard.
Butting heads. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of butting heads. And the thing that I see is that I sometimes when I'm with a client, I might be the first person in their entire life that shows them or talks to them about how their brain is like a Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
They've only thought of it as the worst. And, you know, if you don't know how to work with a Ferrari brain, it's going to crash. And you have these sort of really negative self-talk often around it. And that comes from, you know, the parental model or the school model, the teachers who don't get it and don't understand. You know, all of those various things can occur. And so in adulthood, it's where, and that's why I always like with any of the Know Better You classes is there will always be a week or a section on understanding where you got your understanding of yourself.
Right.
Because it is very worth questioning.
Right.
It's very worth questioning that those cute people who tried their best to help you might have done you a disservice, and that the voices in your head came from a place maybe even for good intentioned, but means that you talk to yourself like you are a terrible person when you are absolutely not.
Yeah.
Your brain just works a little different, and you need to know it.
Yeah.
And that's important.
And this ties really well to time management because turns out neurodivergency also means that you perceive time differently, maybe wholly differently than the guy sitting next to you. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, this is good. This is good stuff. I hope that while you're still down in weird parts of Utah, that you're having a great time. And then when you get up here, we're going to have even a better time tomorrow. Everyone's going to be hanging out, barbecuing at my sister's, the other sister. We got a pool. We got the kids. We got the stuff. It's going to be great. Kim's making tacos.
Delicious.
Some kind of taco bar type idea, so everyone will get to choose all the stuff they want.
Nice.
And
it's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
And
it's
all
going to
the
be great.
babies.
All the babies. It's going to be so
babies.
good. They get to poo in their diaper if they're in the pool. Who cares? You know, let them run. Let them go. Just what
Okay,
it
you guys
is.
ready for the grossest story real quick?
Do it.
Just real quick.
Of course. Yeah.
So we're in this beautiful cabin surrounded by all the beauty, and they have this very fun hot tub that has this like mechanized cover that rises up and then is the roof over the hot tub.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, good, no animals are pooping in here, whatever. Anyway, while I'm in the fiery furnace, we had to help Allie quite a bit. She needed a lot of assistance, and so I was doing some weird maneuvers, and I slipped and hit my arm and scratched it, and then I scratched both elbows. So I have got a couple little scabbies. You know, you guys like that word, scabbies?
Love
Okay.
scabbies.
Sure.
So
Mom would say jobbies for when you had
jobbies,
go number
but
two.
mine are scabbies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're in this hot tub looking at these gorgeous views, and it's rained a little. It was beautiful. I get out. I take a nap. I wake up. I cannot move my elbow, and I'm like, what is happening? And if there's a doctor listening, maybe you could text me. But my elbow is 100% like swollen, and I think I have like an infection from the hot tub. They got
Oh
it.
no!
Yeah.
So they got into the. Oh,
Yeah,
That's-
and I'm reading about it's like bursitis, and it's like sepsis bursitis is what I'm trying to avoid. I am like, it's so.
You got we
painful.
call that the Duke's disease. You got a little of the John
my
Wayne in
gosh,
you there.
Dude.
Sorry,
Thankfully, I didn't
Pilgrim.
get
Sorry.
Arm's gonna have to get cut off.
I don't shower before my hot tubs. I don't know why that's his
I
voice. It's not even
know.
close.
And this thing had so many chemicals in it. I thought there's no way that anything's alive in here.
Yeah.
And everyone else is fine. I probably just had a good mix, but you know, here I am with this puffy elbow, and anyone touches me, I need to kill them. It's like,
Oh, geez.
So is it
What's
still?
happening?
What are you gonna do? You gonna lance it? You gonna, you know?
no, I'm icing it and taking ibuprofen. So any doctors, is that a good idea?
Yeah.
And then if it gets worse, or if I have a fever, then but I can't get over how, you know that, like, you should never get in a hot tub because
Yeah.
it's just human soup. What have we done?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I can never
I know.
do it again.
I think about this every time I get in one, and then I still get in one. It's like, what are you doing?
No.
I don't know why we do that.
recommend not with
Yeah.
a scratch on an elbow, because dang it.
Yeah,
no open sores.
We have a
stabbed. I thought I was fine.
Dr. Tolbert, of course, listener of the show. He will probably answer this. So when I see you again, or if I'll let you know if you've got sepsis. It might be hard to tell remotely, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I hope that's nothing and goes away. That's what I really hope.
I know. So tomorrow, all I'm saying is I'm holding the babies with one arm. You'll wonder why I look the way I do.
It wasn't any snakes or anything, right? No, you don't have to pull venom. Okay.
No, and I kept thinking, come on, that can't be just a hot tub and a nap that did this. And it turns out,
that's all it takes.
Sure enough.
That's all it takes. My keyboard cleaner had mold in it. If that can happen, anything can happen, right?
Ew.
I know, exactly. It's exactly. It's freaking gross. Well, Wendi, it's a pleasure, as Dad would say, and we look forward to hearing you next week. I guess you'll be home and normal next week, right?
I know. I will be not exhausted. It'll be fun.
Weird. Go check out knowbetteryou.com, everybody. It's that's K-N-O-W, better, and then the letter U.com. And check out the site. Get ready for new stuff. It's always popping. Wendi, have a fantastic day until I see you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Bye now.
Bye.
See ya.
All righty.
All right.
That was great. Time management in a bottle.
That's right. Time Master, you look for it this fall. Take it.
That's
Take
right.
It. Worth it.
Worth it. So you hear it right here from Brian. He did it. He tried it. He liked it. Hey, I got a text for you. This just says this. For the record, Toots McLaren hates the IKEA shopping carts. Uncontrollable, hate them.
They do take, like, the first couple minutes you've got them, you're like, veering into things and a little out of control. But once you master them, man, I think I like them better than regular grocery store shopping carts for their maneuverability.
I do too, because you can get in one of those little tight, 400 square foot fake rooms, and you're like, oh shoot, I need to go that way, and there's a guy here, and these things actually have a turning radius of. They almost rotate, right?
They do. They totally do. You don't need a 5-point turn to get out of them.
Yeah, I like those a lot. I'm with Brian. So sorry, Toots. Good luck to you, Toots. Though. We get some quick stuff to remind you of today. Coverville at, you say 1? What'd you say?
Noon. Back to noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So noon today.
Hour and a half from now.
Perfect. That show will end right around the time Core starts, so stick around and watch Core. Me, Bo, and John doing our thing on a Thursday. Big, long-ass Core. That's what you can expect. Our play date tomorrow at 9:30 a.m., so half hour later than usual. And we're going to 11:30, so same run time, but we're starting a little bit early.
And I might be late getting there, but don't you and Scott, you all and Scott play some games while I get there.
Yeah, we'll do those short. We'll do some of those short, wordy ones.
Oh, there you go. Good call.
And then when you get there, we'll do Drawful, because that's a tradition. I
want to do that the Mayan looking one with the wheel of impossible strength or whatever it's called.
Oh, where you're a little chit looking guy.
Yeah,
I like that one. Yeah. Or Meeple, I guess, not chit.
Meeple.
We'll do whatever we want, because that's how this goes, and it's going to be great. Playdate tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Be there, frogpants.tv. We'll be live on Twitch and YouTube. If you want to just come watch, if you're a patron, you get extra special seats right up front to play.
Monica gets you in first.
That's right. Old Monica Stone with her magic fingers. I don't know what that means. Film Sack this weekend, also Sunday this week.
Bangkok Dangerous.
That's right. Never saw it. Have you seen it?
Nicolas Cage. Watched it last night.
Oh.
I have thoughts.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I had a feeling, but we'll see. Worthy of Film Sack discussion, do you think? Or
yes, it'll bring up some great talk. But man, if we were seeing this movie for any other reason, this would be vetoed instantly. But the fact that it's Film Sack, it's like, this is good.
All right, we picked a gooder. That'll be this weekend. Sunday this week is because Wendi and I have a thing Saturday. So that'll be that. Frogpants.com/TMS for everything else. That's where you can contact us, send us voicemails, all the links to everything, song requests. All of it can be found at frogpants.com/TMS. Speaking of song requests, Brian, what do you got?
Yeah, Marissa wrote in and said, birthday request for the man with the best beard at TMS Vegas 2025. Happy birthday, John.
Oh,
very nice of you. And let's get a happy Dersh Day out to him.
Happy Dersh Day to you.
Very nice.
And the request was Endless by Floater. And I looked to confirm this, and that is not a cover. It's an original track, and it's part of a concept album. It's a cool song, but does not fit the criteria. But since you brought up beards, there's, when you think of beards in rock and roll, you think of one band in particular that's got two guys with glorious beards and then a third guy whose last name is Beard.
My favorite.
And when they get covered by an Australian band called The Beards, it's the perfect storm. This is Sharp Dressed Man covered by the Australian band The Beards for Triple J's Like a Version 7 from 2011. Here is Sharp Dressed Man.
Once upon a time, there was a hero named you. Find the next step of your quest at frogpants.com.
Why shouldn't an enlisted man get in on the gravy?